neither was I pressured to resign. I did so willingly from the depth of my heart. However, as an insider and a key player in the administration, and by my position, who worked closely with the suspended governor, it would be unfair for me to keep mute. It all started with the State House of Assembly, where the governor, Sir Fubara, directed his chief of staff to burn down the assembly in a way to avert the suspected impeachment. That evening, Edison was in Government House with many of his boys, including the former chairman of Obiakpo, one Mr. Chijoke Ihunwo. I was there with them when a bag of money was handed over to Edison for that operation, though I did not actually know what it was meant for or the amount inside. I want to tell Rivers people today, the House Assembly was complex. In Moscow Road was clearly brought down by the do of Edison and some of his cohorts. Under the instruction of the sitting governor then, I challenged them to an open confrontation, and this will make us to throw more light on this. Another attempt was also made to destroy the residential quarters of the House Assembly members, if not for the press conference that was made there by Rivers youths, Rivers elders, and National Assembly members. That would have been another barbaric demolition in Rivers State.
Well, that was a briefing granted by the former head of service, Mr. George Nweke of Rivers State, and you heard what he said. That was done on Friday, and then on Saturday, we also heard his wife saying that her husband was forced to make that statement under duress. Shortly after, he also came back again, doing another video saying that no one forced him to do that video under duress, that he did it of his own free will and his own free accord. All of them granted exclusively to Channels Television. It has caused some controversy because we're now beginning to get back and forth on this issue of Rivers State, who gave who what money, and we also understand now that the chief of staff to the governor, Governor Fubara, has now also sued Mr. Nweke, saying that, or he says he's going to go to court. It's unclear if he has done that. He says he's going to sue him for defamation. Well, these are some of the controversies that are on the ground. The question will be, to what end are all of these allegations? What are all of these shenanigans about? We have joining us this morning Mr. Chetam Wala, who is a legal practitioner and an activist. Thank you for joining us this morning, and shall I say Baraka de Salah to you?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. Baraka de Salah to you too.
Well, you have always maintained that this dispute in Rivers State is between the governor, Governor Fubara, and, his erstwhile godfather, Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike. And I'm wondering, this conflict certainly has now gone out of hand. It has now involved, it has involved everyone. It has involved Nigeria as a whole, because we now have at the federal government level, the president declaring a state of emergency, the National Assembly getting involved to approve that. And we see the controversy is generally causing because everyone is saying, no, this is right, this is wrong. This is basically where we're at. So now that we're getting this new revelation by the former head of service who said he willingly resigned, what were your thoughts when you saw that video?
Well, I'm going to start from the build-up you actually laid. The issue on ground now in Rivers State, I must say that at this point, we're no longer dealing with Wike and Sim again. What about the distraction of this particular video from the press statement from the head of service, the former head of service? Now, I'm viewing things now differently from the angle of the president, that Mr. President is acting a script in Rivers State. And that script is not in the best interest of Rivers people. That script is written to destroy the economy of Rivers State. Because we have argued severally and said that the president had no business declaring a state of emergency in Rivers State. There was no necessary provocation that would have led to the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. Now, back to this issue, I'll return back to the issue of the president, and I would expatiate more on that particular, because what the president is doing in Rivers State is destroying the economy of Rivers State and not even bringing peace, because the sole administrator he sent to Rivers State has confirmed that there is peace in Rivers State. The issues, some of the issues that the president had alleged were the reasons why he declared a state of emergency, which one of them is the House of Assembly not being rebuilt by the governor. The same sole administrator has stated that the House of Assembly has built about 80% and the contractors have been paid fully. Why is the president declaring a state of emergency? Why is just a state of emergency in Rivers State? There are states in the north that have been run over by bandits that do not have, local governments in the north that have been run over by bandits that do not have state of emergency be declared. There are areas where you have serious conflict. You know, though we recently had killings of people there, hunters, about 16 persons or thereabouts, have been killed. Have they declared a state of emergency? And in Rivers State that is peaceful, that things are going very well in Rivers State, the president has decided to declare a state of emergency and has decided not to even yield to the calls by well-meaning Nigerians to rescind from that particular decision of declaring a state of emergency in Rivers State. It is unfortunate, it is sad, and we condemn it highly.
You say he's following a script.
The president, I'm telling you for fact.
Yes, who has written the script?
No, he wrote the script. See, let me tell you.
What exactly is the plot of the script?
Let me tell you something. Do not forget, in this same country we are, because some people just try to play to the gallery over these issues in this country. In this country where we all are, nobody is more Nigerian than the other. We're all Nigerians. Anybody who finds himself in leadership position is only privileged to lead us and must lead us in that circumstance. A few years ago, there was a leaked audio between the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, and Ibikunle Amosu, the then governor of Ogun State, where they had talked about in that particular leaked audio that they were going to destroy the economy of the Southeast and boom the economy of the North, and as well the economy of Lagos and the West, and that the Southeast was going to suffer in this circumstance. Now, from what we are seeing, if you point out the link,
and that audio was accepted?
No, whether it was accepted or not, but we are seeing certain things in that regard playing out. And it is giving us concern that this may be linked to that particular audio. Whether that is true or not, but we are seeing signs of it. Because ask me or tell me, why was a state of emergency declared in Rivers State? Which investor will go to Rivers State today to go and invest in Rivers State where there is a state of emergency? If there was no script against Rivers State, if there was no interest to destroy the economy of Rivers State, why did the president declare state of emergency? Why is he not yielding to calls of Nigerians to remove the state of emergency in Rivers State? Why is the president still insisting that the state of emergency in Rivers State will continue? Let me tell you, this whole game is just about the resources of Rivers State. That is why one of the first things the sole administrator did when he came in was he sent out a memo to the head of local government administrations to ask them for the source of revenue of the local government. What is the business of the source of revenue of the local government? And the sole administrator that was sent to come and bring peace, purported peace in the state, when he has also confirmed that there is peace in Rivers State. The president acted on a false intelligence, which he has refused to admit. He acted on a false intelligence in Rivers State. And today, the president has declared a state of emergency in Rivers State.
No. There are two things, Mr. Wala. You say first that the president is following the script. That is, in other words, perhaps he's the one who has orchestrated whatever it is that is happening. And as such, he's making it, he's helping it pan out as the case might be. That's basically what it seems you're insinuating. Now you say he's acting based on false intelligence. Those are two different things. If you take decisions based on facts available to you at a particular time, or those facts turn out later on not to be true, that certainly cannot be said to be following a particular script, can it?
No, when you look at it, when you come on national TV, and on a national broadcast to state that XYZ happened, and these are some of the things that has led to the declaration of state of emergency, and it was discovered that those things did not happen, are those things not false? And you have not even, as a matter of fact, to say, oh, I made a mistake in this regard. I made a mistake in this regard, to accept your fault in this direction, and to say, oh, I'm sorry for doing this, I'm going to rescind on my decision, yet you are holding firm to it. Does that not even tell you that there is something fishy, and there's a sinister plan against Rivers people in this circumstance?
Yeah,
it tells you.
The president,
just a moment. If you agree with me.
Mr. Wala, please take it easy. It is not only the president who has, he's not to declare and then it stays. What about the National Assembly? Are they also following the same script?
We all know, we all know how the National Assembly functions in Nigeria, especially in this administration. We all know how the National Assembly functions in Nigeria. that you cannot completely separate the National Assembly from the executive arm of the government. You can't completely separate them.
Yeah, but there were lawmakers. There are lawmakers from River State there as well. Don't they have a voice in that particular house?
They have a voice, but when the majority of those controlled by the executive, when the majority of those controlled by the executive takes a stand, the minority voice of the Rivers people in the National Assembly cannot hold sway. And we know these things. So it cannot hold sway.
What exactly?
And that's why we think that there's a sinister plan against Rivers State to destroy its economy.
What do you, exactly, to what end?
That's what we're asking.
If you say that is the game, if you say that's the game plan, because what Nigeria has been working towards as a country, and that's why even some people were saying, is it possible that the decision of the president was economic rather than political? Because, I mean, he made reference to oil installations, etc., etc. So if you say that the idea is to destroy the economy, the question will be to what end? For a country that is looking for money and hoping to ramp up production of crude oil, why would they want to destroy the economy of Rivers State?
Let me tell you something that we must understand. When you look at Rivers State is one of the economic hubs of this nation.
Indeed.
You agree with me, especially in the South-South. Rivers State has the largest economy in the South-South as of today. Now, when you come back to Rivers State and you look at what is happening in Rivers State and the declaration, why would the president declare a state of emergency in its economic hub when he knows that the implication of a state of emergency on the economy of a particular state like Rivers State, when he knows the implication that it would actually drive out investors from the state? So it tells you a lot. If the president, so what we're saying is that the president did not put into consideration the economic implication of this state of emergency. Because if he had put all those things into consideration, he wouldn't have declared the state of emergency in Rivers State. So for him to have also done that, and I've seen that these things are causing serious harm to the people of Rivers State, and have decided to still stand by that decision, then I think, from the look of things, from all the circumstances available to us, from the circumstantial evidence we have right now, it is pointing towards the fact that there are sinister plans against Rivers people through the state of emergency that have declared against Rivers State, and which is sad and unfortunate. And that's why we are saying that the president should call off the state of emergency. It is not helping Rivers people. Right now, it is not about Sim or Wike. It's not about any of them. And that's why, for me, I don't want to get distracted by it, because for me, I consider everything said by Dr. Nweke as a distraction. Because if you look at it, this man has waited for 1 year to come up with this important revelation that goes to the fabric of the soul of our nation, that a state is almost being destroyed. An arm of government was almost destroyed or was burned down. You had those information, very critical information. You withheld it from security agencies. I think such a person should be tried for treason. You withheld it from security agencies without coming out public with it. What if they had gone ahead, or whoever probably must have gone ahead to make sure that they bring down the fabrics of this nation? It tells a lot about his personality and character. So I really do not want to get myself distracted with all that, because I see all that as a distraction. The cause of the matter is this: there's a state of emergency in Rivers State.
You see something as somebody says that you say should be tried for treason as a distraction.
No, what I'm saying that you held this particular opinion, you had this knowledge, you refused to divulge this to the security agencies. The police even went ahead to try some persons. You refused to come out to give testimonies during those trials. You kept quiet over it, and you decided not to come out. It is after the court had reached a decision on some of the persons that were tried during this particular period that you're now coming out 1 year later to give this testimony. What should you do with the testimony? A fresh investigation should be opened when the matter becomes sub judice, when the court has already pronounced on the issue on ground. Should we start dealing with it again? So that's why I said I don't want to be distracted by the whole shenanigans happening with Dr. George Wike.
So quickly, I'm going to ask you, what is the way forward right now?
The first thing that we need to do as a country is the first president should actually remove the state of emergency in Rivers State. It is not helping Rivers State in any way. It is only giving us the indication that the president has other plans for Rivers State. That is not in the best interest of Rivers State. The state of emergency has not helped anything. What problem has it solved? We can't find any problem in the state of emergency in Rivers State that has solved. None can be found. But we are still in a state of emergency. Nobody is coming to invest in Rivers as of today. The sole administrator is doing whatever he likes. He's acting, of course, you can see now, they moved all the allocations, both the local government allocations and the state allocation, and channeled down to the sole administrator, who does not even have a budget he is working on. And we ask ourselves, the sole administrator will wake up in the morning, take unilateral decision, suspend certain persons whose tenures were even guaranteed by the Constitution. And at the end of the day, what we see on ground is that the man, whatever he does, he's comfortable. I ask ourselves, has the Constitution of Nigeria been suspended in Rivers State?
So in
is the Constitution no longer working in Rivers State? So if we do not remove this state of emergency in Rivers State, we will continue to destroy the economy of Rivers State, by extension destroying the Nigerian economy.
Well, it's a fine place to leave it. We have to thank you so much for your time with us this morning. Mr. Chatam Wala is a legal practitioner and also an activist.